Welcome to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast, where we share tips, techniques, and true stories to support you in using the law of attraction and alchemy to create magic and live the life of your dreams. Here's your host, the founder of DailyAlchemy.com, Michelle Martin Dobbins.
Hi there, it's Michelle Martin Dobbins of DailyAlchemy.com, and today I want to talk to you about how to be 90% happy. Yep, 90% happy in your life. Do you think you can do that? Do you think you're already doing that? Some of you might already be up to 95. Some of you may find feeling happy every day on a somewhat consistent basis a challenge. I know, I get that. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about my past history in case you don't know, in case you're new to me. I don't talk about it all the time, but I did suffer with depression when I was a teenager and when I was a young adult. At the time of this recording, I'm 45, and it's been quite a while since I felt like I've suffered from severe depression or anxiety, but there were some times when it was really tough for me. And so I want to share with you some really practical techniques to start feeling happier and start focusing more on your happiness. But before I get really into that, I do want to say, if you feel really down and you don't think you can turn it around, and especially if you have suicidal thoughts or just those can't get up out of bed situations more than a day or two a week, then it's a great thing to seek professional help. There is no shame in going to a doctor. There's no shame in taking antidepressant medication. I know, like, in the law of attraction world, sometimes we think, well, we attracted this illness or we attracted this depression. And, a lot of us may have been born into a family or just through circumstances of how our brain ended up learning to think, we got into these habits, but they can turn into, a biological, chemical problem with processing that causes us to get stuck in this depressive mode. And it's okay for you to seek out help that way. And please don't feel bad if you need to. I, in my early 20s, took antidepressants, and while I don't feel that they healed me, and I don't feel like they're necessarily a cure for anyone, but they are a Band-Aid, and sometimes you need a Band-Aid, right? And I'm not going to say, there might be some people who need them their whole lives, and if that's you and that works for you, that is fine. For me, it was a temporary thing that helped me get my moods up enough to learn how to change my thinking. And when I changed my thinking, I was able to not need that and not suffer from that anymore. But I understand that if you're in a really depressive point, that is really, really hard to do on your own. So that being said, I want you to start by figuring out how happy you are now. You may not be depressed at all and all that stuff that I just said. I just really wanted to make sure if anybody was suffering that they know that they got some positive input to seek help. So we're going to talk about how happy you are right now. If you're 90% happy, you can probably just skip this podcast and go on to the next. But you can always be a little bit happier. But what I want you to do, if you're not driving and if you're in a place where you can, is to take out a piece of paper. Just pause this, go get a piece of paper. I'll wait, come back. And I want you to draw a circle. And this is your little pie chart, and fill it in. Like, how happy are you right now today? Are you 50% happy? Are you 20% happy? Are you 80% happy? And make 3 of those, okay? So 1 for today, 1 for the past year, and 1 for the past hour, and look and see. So if you think you're 80% happy over the past year, but you're only 50% today, it just might mean that today is a little bit tougher day or a little bit tougher hour. But over time, what do you think your percentage is? The one that's the circle that's the biggest. And then I want to talk to you about how we can get that percentage up to closer to 90%. And there are some people who say they can be happy 100% of the time. And that's a great if you want to go for that. I'm good with 90% because I like to experience the whole range of emotions, happiness, sadness, anger, everything. It just seems to add more richness to my life. So I'm content. Like 90% to me is like incredible. So, just remember, even if you're 90%, that means 10% of the time you might be mad, you might be sad, you might be depressed or down. And, that's okay. We all have those moments. We all have that time, but we all want to be happy and on the positive side of the emotion as much as we can, because let's face it, it just feels good, right? So how do we get that number, that percentage on that circle to go up? First thing that I would ask you to do is to ask yourself, are there feelings that I need to feel and deal with? And if there are, like if you're feeling anxious or sad, I would say, like, if you're having a crazy day too, and you really need to wanting to focus on feeling happy, just look at the next hour, okay? How can you be happier for the next hour? So if there's feelings that you need to feel, how about just feel them for 5 minutes and then decide what you can do to be happy for the next hour. Some of the things that I would do would be to take action, and the ways that I can take action are to see how many positive thoughts I can think, or to help someone else, even just to smile at someone that you see out in public, try to raise your spirits, compliment people, offer to help someone, offer to help your neighbor, offer to help someone with their buggy at the grocery store, or open the door for someone. Helping someone else and putting the focus on someone else is a great way to just kind of give yourself a new perspective. And then one of the last ones that I do is I focus on a mantra, and I may do this for days or weeks, even if I really need to. And if you're having a tough time, one that's easy to do is "this too shall pass," or "things will get better," or "I am feeling a little bit happier each and every day and each and every moment of every day," or whatever works for you and lights you up. So if you drew that circle and you only shaded in 20 or 30%, don't try to get up to 90% all at once. Look at the next day and say, okay, I was at 30%, so I want to be at 50%. What can I do? I'm intending to be 50% happy today. And so 50% of the time, I want to be happy. What can I do? So, and then you want to remember to ask yourself to feel your feelings, to intend to up that amount and intend to feel happy more, and to take the actions that you need to take, whether it's helping someone else, counting your how many positive thoughts you can think in a row, focusing on a mantra, or some other technique that keeps your mind busy, thinking about doing the kind of things that make you happy. And don't be hard on yourself if you are having a bad day or you're not feeling happy. We all have those days, but if you're on a regular path where you feel like you're not focused on your own happiness, then take this time and go through and focus on what does make you happy and intend to be just a little bit happier every day until you get up to that golden 85 to 90% of the time. So go out, have a wonderful day, create some magic, and I will see you next time. Namaste. This episode of the Adventures in Alchemy podcast is brought to you by the Magical Life Manifesting Club. This club is a place where you can hook up with other like-minded people and learn how to create more magic in your life 1 month at a time. We have a mini class every month on a different manifesting or alchemy, law of attraction topic, which includes 2 Q&As, usually 3 or 4 videos, some PDFs, different assignments, a private Facebook group where we can link up and talk and share and ask questions and support each other. And it is a great community, especially if you don't have as many like-minded people in your real life to help you and support you and not judge you. some of the topics that we have covered that are still there. And when you join up, you get access to all of these immediately. We have Prayer-Reading, Journaling, and Scripting class, a Body Love Alchemy class, an Abundance Alchemy class, an Angel Alchemy class, a Money Alchemy class, which is really in-depth. There are 30 emails that go with that you can either just look at in the space, or you can actually have the email sent to you every day to go through the class that way. That class was also sold as a standalone for $27, but the people who are in my club, they get all of my little courses. Unless it's something hugely major or private coaching, they get everything for free. So they got that for free as part of being in the club. And they also have a beginner's manifesting course, also the 30-day manifesting reset course. And this month we're working on healing alchemy, and I am a Reiki master, so I am able to train people in Reiki and attune them in Reiki. So we'll be doing level 1 and level 2 attunements in Reiki. And at some point I may even go up to level 3, but I'm going to have to play with how to do that. But so much is in this group. When you sign up and you get linked into the space, you can just play all day. And the nice thing is you can download it all from Simpleroo. So here's the scoop. Right now, it is only $15 a month, and you can cancel anytime. But I'm going to be changing that really soon because I've had people who have been supporting me since day one on this, and it's not really fair to them if I let new people join, download everything, and leave in a month. So it's going to switch over to a yearly membership. Believe me, there is new stuff every month, and there's already over 6 months worth of content in here, all kinds of crazy goodness. So a year membership, you would still continue to get new content every month, but that way I ensure that the people who have been supporting me, they don't pay more and get less than everybody else. And I think that's the best way to make it fair. So if you want to hop in on and try it, while it's still $15 a month and you could opt out anytime and not do a yearly membership, now is the time. You can go to dailyalchemy.com and you can click on the big button on the right-hand side of your screen that says Magical Life Manifesting Club, and it will show you everything about it and where to sign up. And you can also look in the show notes. I think I always have a link there for the Magical Life Manifesting Club because it is my joy to spend time with this club and to create magic with this club and to see all the wonderful things that happen to the members of this club. So thank you guys, and go check it out. Bye-bye. Namaste.
Thanks for listening to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast. Connect with me on thedailyalchemy.com or Facebook at facebook.com/Michelle Dobbins, author. Join us next time for even more magical life tips.